Hey traders, John Howell here, and in today's sort of market update plus also educational video, I've got a lot of stuff that I want to cover with you today, and that is that I want to give you a bit of a market update, what's happening right now in the indices, a bit of a silver and gold and mining stocks update through there. I'm also going to be talking about Boeing as well too. I know I talked about a lot about that in the past, so I'm going to be talking about that as well. Also going to be talking about a recent trade that I did, and also something about less is more in the markets, and something that just comes to me time and time again, and hopefully I can part of that knowledge into you. I mean, I can't talk today, and help you anyway. So let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video, because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, so let's get straight into it right now. Before I do start guys, I've been getting a lot of people, or some people have been asking me about my coaching program and all that sort of stuff. Firstly, my coaching program is closed right now. It's closed to everyone that's in there right now. I don't know when I'm going to open it up again. Basically, if you want me as your coach, you want to see how I trade the markets, get my scans and all that sort of stuff, and me helping you every day, the investment is $10,000. Okay, so if you want to be on the waiting list of that, again, it's closed right now, so it's not even open. If you want to be on the waiting list of that, just email me at howtrader@gmail.com. And you'll be on the waiting list. And when I do open up again, when I do open it up, I only open up maybe 5 or 10 spots at a time. And so if you want to be on the waiting list, just let me know. All right, let's get straight into what's happening right now in the market. I'm actually looking at Boeing right now, but I'll get back to Boeing in just a minute. Let me get back into order of what I said I was going to do. So first thing about markets, let's get straight into the market. So the market update, firstly, we will continue to push high on the markets, S&P 500, same thing, and the Nasdaq. But one thing that's continued to happen is that we continue to do that, right? But as we can see, right, we can see how that, if I go to the SPY here for a minute, look what's still happening through here. Look at this here, right? We're pushing new highs, but look at the volume tapering off. So it's like this market's pushing and pushing and pushing, but the volume's tapering and tapering and tapering and tapering off, right? What you would expect after some sort of pullback and a rally would be an increase in volume. Okay, so as you can see through here, we had a bit of sideways period. Okay, through the sideways period, and then we had a rise. And as you can see through that period, what was happening? It was rising overall. Look what's happening. It's been tapering off and tapering off and tapering off. So something's just not right here. Yes, we're on a big bull market, and trying to short the market right now is definitely risky. But by looking at the markets right now and by trading the markets, we can see that, yeah, we're definitely pushing on a bit of a shoestring right now, short term anyway. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see a bit of a pullback. But with that being said, guys, there's no way I'm going to short the market right now. That'd be absolutely crazy. Moving on now through to the QQQ with the Nasdaq as well too. I wanted to share this with you. As you can see, right, we've got pretty much consistent but a very low volume as we've been pushing up through there. If you actually look at the moving average as well too, see my moving average through here. This moving average is it's a 260-day moving average, roughly 1 year moving average over my volume, and you can see how high it was through there. But then look what's happening just recently, right? Look what happened since the actual breakout. The breakout happened, but notice the average volume has actually been declining. So we've been getting something like, as we can see, right, this was flat through here, and now we've been getting this. Notice the slide. That means getting less volume in this move to the upside than we did just going sideways, which is really, really interesting in itself. So once again, guys, that's what I'm seeing through there in the markets itself. Moving on now through to the silver and gold market. Silver and gold is doing the same thing for the last sort of month or so. Pretty much nothing through here. I do believe something's going to happen in the stock market where it's going to cause a 5 or 6% correction in the markets. And then when that happens, I do see gold and silver being bullish for that. So right now, pretty much nothing going on with gold. It did have a rally, and then now it's having a bit of basing out, which is a really good thing, right? Because what we're doing here is we're doing time. time or an energy building phase. So when we do start to eventually break out, we're probably likely to go for a run as well too. And same for silver, right? Silver's continue to have a little bit of a sell-off, but still in this overall bit of a weaker pullback through here, right? We had this big selling down period through here, and we had a rally up and a down and up and down and up. Pretty much nothing going on. If you look at my weekly chart on silver, you can see that this whole trend line right here is that major resistance through there, as you can see. And so that's what we're looking through there. If we look at the silver market as well too on the weekly chart, this is the reason why we've gone through a bit of a gyrations through here, right? Bit of a run up, a bit of come up, a bit of a backing pattern, squeezing up in this triangle pattern. But once we do break this triangle pattern, guys, oh my goodness, it's probably likely to be fireworks when it comes to silver, because silver's definitely, when it breaks, it's gonna catch up and close that gold silver ratio. So what the fact of the matter is, guys, is that we could get a breakdown and then a rally down from here. But if we get a break up and out above 17, it's going to be on like Donkey Kong. Moving on now through to the mining stocks. Start with the GDX first. The GDX, pretty much nothing going on, squeezing up into this overall triangle pattern. So if we do get something like this, guys, we get something like this, like a bit of a break up through there, and then we get an increase in volume, then we're probably likely to start to see a move back up towards that 30 mark. Moving on through the GDX, same sort of thing, right? When we break up and out with an increase in volume, very, very short term, we're probably likely to race back up towards the 43, which is not that far. But once we do break that, that's when we're going to start to see a very, very nice move in the miners. And the reason why is because overall, if you look what's been happening overall, we've been pretty much just be doing this here, which is absolutely nothing. A lot of time, a lot of moving sideways. We had a move up, we had a slight pullback. So if we get a slight pullback and then a weekly move up, that's when we can start to see this thing break and rallying up to around this 50 mark. So by the way, guys, once I start to see this weekly, if we can get a nice weekly up bar like this, something like that, maybe in a few weeks or whatever, and we get something like that, and we get a nice increase in volume on the spike there, then there's a very high probability we're likely to race to the top level there, and then that's the sort of position I'll be looking at. That's the weekly chart there, right? So more of a longer term position there. But again, I'm just watching and waiting to see what actually happens. I'll be looking at the daily chart as well too. So that's what I'm seeing through there, guys. Things are real. It's really interesting to see what's happening right now when it comes to the indices, right? Indices are they're rallying on low volume. So there's a very good chance that we're probably likely to see a bit of a pullback. Again, that may never happen, right? The way this market's going. But on that pullback, it's interesting because we're seeing the miners and silver and gold sort of basing out, not really doing much. It's like they're waiting for something to happen in the markets that's going to cause the market to pull back, and then silver and gold are going to go for another run, which is quite interesting. Now, if they drop interest rates even more, my goodness, as not as it's going to be bullish for the markets, it's probably going to be bullish for gold as well too. So that's what I'm seeing through there, guys. Moving on now through to Boeing. I talked about Boeing a few weeks ago, actually, and I said that Boeing right now, if we hold here and we break back up above this support and resistance line, then it's going to be some sort of false breakout. And as you can see, right, this here, I was talking about this with my private clients as well too. This here was the actual false breakout as well, right? You can see how it dropped down, it didn't follow through, and then we actually broke up and above through here. And as you guys know, if you've been watching my videos for the last few weeks, I said I didn't get into Boeing. I was looking for a short trade on Boeing, but I didn't get into Boeing. Knowing what Boeing has done right now, this has a very high probability chance of rallying back up to the top of the channel here. No, you shouldn't be getting into it right now, because we have a very good chance of having a bit of a pullback as well too before we continue up. Now, what I do see with Boeing long term now is knowing what I'm seeing here right now, and I'm responding to the market, right? What you need to do is when you make a call, like I said, okay, if this market drops below, we're likely to see a big move down. If the market doesn't do that, you need to respond to what the market is doing. What I'm doing right now is I'm responding and to what the market is doing, not trying to force my will onto it. So what's happening right now, we're likely to see a move back up to 380. We may get a bit of a pullback first, but with that being said, I do see this thing rallying back up the top here, and then overall, probably like to see Boeing going for another big run. And it's really interesting because the way the market works, right, when something seems really, really, really bad in the markets about a company, it seems to be really, 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 really bullish for the markets, right? So for example, Tesla, right? Tesla was like the company's going to go broke, and it was the number one number one company that was the most shorted. And guess what happened? It's the number one company that's been that's the number one company that's gone through the biggest vertical spike in the last 6 months. See how that's counterintuitive. It's opposite thinking there. You know, you have that. So Boeing right now is going through a lot of troubles, but that's probably bullish for Boeing overall, fundamentally anyway. It's really interesting how the markets work, right? Everything's opposites. Meaning if something seems really, really, really bad for a stock, and the stock is going through a bit of a pullback initially, that's probably a good buying opportunity. If everyone talking how good something is, it's probably the top, right? Like I see here in Australia, I saw the property market here went absolutely crazy. And then guess what? Guess what happened? Then the news started talking about how big the boom's been and how things are going crazy. And guess what? When that happened, I knew it was at the top, right? Because like, oh my God, this is so good right now. Same with Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin was the exact same thing, as we seen through there. Now talking about Bitcoin, guys, just give you a quick little Bitcoin update as I'm speaking right now. All right, let me go to the cryptocurrencies here. All right, I'm just going to use the investing website here, guys. I love using the investing.com website for this here. I do have a platform that actually trades Bitcoin, but it's not actually open right now. So I'm just going to quickly go to Bitcoin and have a look at this here. For you guys that know about Bitcoin, you guys would know that I said with Bitcoin, when the market was down here, if you guys remember this, a few months ago, I said the market's down through here and we've got this major support level through here. If we can start to break up, through this level here, this is going to be some sort of false breakout, just like Boeing's done, right? And then guess what happens? We run to the top of the next resistance, which is there. Look what's happened with Boeing right now, ran to the top of resistance. Guys, if you can leave a comment below, let me know if you remember me actually talking about Bitcoin at the start of the year, saying if we do get this, it's going to be a false breakout. We're likely to run towards the 10,000 level. And it was nothing special. It was just saying we're going sideways. If we break back up, it's going to be a false breakout. We're likely to run to the top of the channel. Just like Boeing's likely to do, right? But Bitcoin right now, on a larger scale, Bitcoin is just starting another move up, right? So we had this move down, false breakout, which is the end of trend indicator as well too, aka Boeing, and then the move up from here, right? JP Morgan did the exact same thing before we went for a big move. So did Tesla. So did, I think that was it, right? Right. All these other amazing trades that I've done so far have been based on that there. Actually, it's just interesting. Tesla recalls 15,000 Model X SUVs for power steering issues. Okay, cool. It's interesting. I just got a little thing there. So that's what I'm seeing through there, guys. When it comes to the cryptocurrencies and stuff like that. And if I go to look at the XRP as well, too, XRP is one that I know a lot of people are into. XRP is really starting to pick up again. If I go look at the weekly chart here, I'm just doing this on the fly, guys. As you know, I wasn't expecting to talk about this, but it does look like we're starting to really turn around, not really starting to bottom out here. So it'd be really interesting to see what's going to happen here in the crypto market. I think there's a lot of opportunities here when it comes to the crypto market, and it'll be really, because I haven't actually been really focusing a lot on the cryptos. So actually I might start focusing back on cryptos again. I had a phenomenal trade back here when it comes to let me go back to the daily chart. I shorted the crap out of let me go back to here. This is way back. Let me go back to here. I shorted the crap out of Bitcoin on this breakout bar here. See this here, we had all this sideways movement, then we had this breakout bar. I shorted the crap out of it just then because my system actually said so. And I got out down here when it comes to this green bar down here. I had a shorter term moving average, and when I crossed by moving average, I didn't capture the bottom, but I caught like maybe 70-80% of it, and then it just went sideways from there. And then we just started getting another big bullish up bar, which is another great little little breakaway bar. When that happens, nice little entry signal, and then away it went as well too. So a great couple of little setups there on Bitcoin. But since then, I haven't had anything. This was a very beautiful short trade. Then we went back into, and as you can see, right, it's really simple here. Sideways movement, not much going on, small candles, and then the breakdown bar, away it goes. Sideways movement, not much going on, small candles, breakup bar, and then away it goes. So really interesting. But where we are right now, I didn't write it all the way up, but where we are right now, in the scheme of things, we're just doing that. Again, there's been nothing here for me at all on recent terms when it comes to Bitcoin and stuff like that. What are the other ones? Litecoin. Oh, was that Litecoin I was looking at a minute ago? Oh, XR. This is XRP. Yeah, that's XRP. This is Litecoin. Litecoin is also doing. Okay, so Litecoin's doing pretty much the same as XRP. Let's go to XRP again. Okay, so this is Litecoin. Okay, so Litecoin's actually picking up a lot more than. A lot more. Wow, there's been a lot of activity into the cryptocurrencies lately, which seems pretty cool. Interesting, guys. Again, I'm just doing this on the fly, by the way. I didn't even expect to actually do anything when it comes to the crypto market, but as you can see, I might actually start to focus a bit more on it because it looks like there's going to be some really good opportunities through there. Anyway. So that's what I wanted to talk about there. So back to the actual markets itself. I want to talk about, now I talked about Boeing, what I said through there. As you can see, right, Boeing's doing the exact same pattern that the Bitcoin did, and all these other markets have done as well too. And as you can see, right, guys, once you start to understand, really understand the markets itself, you'll notice it doesn't matter what market you're looking at. It could be Forex, it could be crypto, it could be stocks. They all make similar patterns, and when you start to really grasp of, okay, it broke down, didn't do nothing, and broke back up inside a channel, what does that mean? It doesn't matter whether it's a crypto market or, or a stock market, and that's obviously what I teach, in these videos, is really how to read the chart. So no matter what chart you're looking at, you can trade it, because guess what? It's the same machines, same humans trading every market, right? It's not like, oh, well, there's different people trading cryptos and there's a different machine trading the stock market. And no, it's all the same thing, all right? So they all operate really the same way. Let me talk about a trade that I did just recently, which was TEVA. This is a trade that I recently got into. Really simple. As you can see, we had pretty much a sideways movement through here, not much going on. A bit of a pullback here, run up, pullback, and then we had this breakout bar through here. That was my entry point through there. Had a really nice entry point with the breakout, and then the market went up, didn't do much, and this big gap up here, because I was trading options, it's always best to get out when the volatility is increasing, not when the market's dropping. So because we've got a bit of a gap up through here, and we've got an increase in volume, and the market's been going up for the last few weeks, it was time for me to get out there, get out of that trade for that 140% return on the option through there. So really beautiful trade through there. And plus, there's actually there's a trade that one of my private clients actually did as well too, and he's up, like, he got in yesterday, and today it's up like 60-something% in one day. So I'm so proud of him. So Frank, my man, you are the man. So proud of you. And obviously I've been on the private Facebook group today helping him manage that trade as well too. So not only do I help my clients get into really good trades, but I also help them manage the trades as well too. Sometimes, like today I saw Frank do that, so I can help him do that. And the last thing I want to talk about with you guys is less is more in the markets. One thing that I find that most people struggle with the markets, and I talk with my private clients all the time, is the one thing that they struggle with, right, is they think they need to be in the markets all the time. They think they need to be in trades. They think they need to be, be involved with everything. And as you can see, right, my trading style is a setup. And then the more disciplined or the more consistent I am at trading my one setup that I believe in, the more consistent my profits are going to be overall. Doesn't mean I'm not going to have losing trades. Well, actually, I'm going to say something about that. Any of my private clients can back this up. If you find an absolute perfect setup with my system, you're very rarely actually find a losing trade. The problem is waiting for those perfect setups. Anyway, again, I know that sounds like a big statement, but any of my private clients can actually back that up. Find me a trade that is absolutely perfect that actually has a losing trade. But anyway, I do have my losing trades because sometimes I don't take the exact perfect ones, but I take good setups. So, less is more, right? And the more consistent that you can be at trading whatever setup you are, the more consistent profitable you are. The more consistent profitable. If you're not consistent at trading the same time, the same setups, the same thing, then how do you expect to be consistently profitable long term, right? The biggest thing that I find that with most traders is that they're all over the place. They're getting in today and then they're getting emotional and then they're getting out here and they're getting into this and getting in that. And guys, I'm not talking down on you. I'm talking with you here because I've done that so many times, right? You get into a trade and it's not working. Like, oh, maybe I should get out here and put my money into this trade here because that looks like it's going to run on. And then the next trade and the trade you do get in doesn't really do much. And the trade you should have stayed in if you're just people patient, that thing runs on. You're like, oh, damn it, right? And then you're just going and going. That's what we need to do, right? We need to relax and breathe. Okay, I'm waiting for my setup. When I get in, I'm going to be patient. Right? Because like with my trades, as you can see with this one here, not all of them run on straight away, right? Some of them I get into and it's 3 or 4 days later, then the thing's actually running on and actually making a good move. Not straight away, right? Sometimes I get in and it might pull against me for 2 or 3 days and then something runs on for profit, right? Sometimes you just need to be patient, have a plan there. I'm getting into this trade. If the market gets to this certain point, which my stop is always at the low of the bar, by the way, guys. So I know that if the market gets to here, right here, then I absolutely need to be out of that trade. And there's no story. It's called a no story exit rule for me. I get in on a really, really good trade. It's not just based on the breakout, but it's based on everything else that I have a complete step-by-step rules that I follow. But I need to be in. I need to be consistent at trading that setup. 2, when I'm in the trade, just be patient. Right, because and the fact of the matter is, with the way that I trade and my trading system, 90+% of the trades will run on for some profits. Whether it's a small profit, I'll say a 50 or 40 or 50% profit, or sometimes even a 30% profit, or whether it's a very, very, very large profit, which I had just recently this week. Again, I'm not going to talk numbers here or even percent, but it was my largest percent successful trade. In about 3 years. It was just absolutely just crushed it, right? So sometimes I capture those really big long moves. It was on a trade that I recently did, and my private clients know all about that. And so the thing is, guys, is that 1, be consistent. Whatever setup you do, right? I'm believing in a trend following setup, right? So I find a trend and I try to jump in on that trend and I wait for a good time for when the market's likely to continue that trend, right? I find the trend and then wait for a good time for it's likely to continue that trend. It's very, very, very simple the way that I trade. It's really only 4 steps that I look at. And then I'm looking for ways to do that. And then what I'm also doing is also when I get into the trade is managing the trade. So if I get into the trade and it does nothing the next day, and then the next day after that, it pulls back against me just a little bit, but my rules say don't get out. If I get emotional that I get out, guess what happens most of the time? The thing turns around and then runs on for profits. That happens so many times, right? So many times. And so it's your consistency, your discipline and patience and waiting for your setup that you believe in. And then when you're getting in there, manage your emotions and manage, okay, this is when I get into this trade, I can either expect this thing to run on really quickly for me, or I can expect it to not do much and then maybe run on for profits. Again, 90+% of the time that I get into a trade, it's going to do that. Now, some of my private clients, where they and this is where my coaching comes into it, is me helping them manage when they get into these trades. Some of them don't have problems getting into the trades, but just managing it properly. You know what I mean? And yes, every now and then there will be a really good setup that comes along, and then it's for a small profit, right? So then there was a trade recently taken where he got into it and he stayed in for a whole week and it didn't do anything. So he got out, guess what? For a small loss because the market didn't really do anything. So less is really more in the markets, okay? And you don't want to be trying to get in today and try to predict what happens tomorrow and getting in right now because you think it's going to run on and all this sort of mumble jumble emotional thinking, hoping and praying, right? There is no that. It's here's my setup. Here's what I'm looking for on the charts and I'm going to trade that. And if you start to apply that emotion of being consistent at trading a setup, any setup, right? Just anything. Like the breakout strategy that I walked you through, right? Just exactly like Bitcoin did, just exactly like Tesla did, like JP Morgan did. You know, again, if you guys have been watching me for 5 or 6 months, you know I called Bitcoin. I said if Bitcoin breaks up, well, less likely to be a false breakout, and we're likely to run to the $10,000 mark. JP Morgan was the exact same thing. Tesla was the exact same thing. You know, and so by looking at all these things here, right, it's about being consistent within the markets there. And again, guys, my coaching program's closed right now, so you can't become a private client. If you want to become a private client, and you can be on the waiting list, it's $10,000. Just email me and then we'll see what I can do when I do open it up. If I do open it up again this year, I'm not sure. Right now, I'm actually very content. That's why I haven't opened up again. And because it's only a real small group that I have there. I don't have hundreds of people in there. I only have a real small group in there, and that's why I like to keep it. And so yeah, guys, just make sure you're consistent at the way that you're trading these markets. Make sure you're disciplined and patient at the way that you trade these markets. And it's so important that when you do find these trades that you get into it and you don't ever say, and I did a coaching session with my clients yesterday, because every single week I do a group coaching session with them all. And I said to him, the worst thing that you can do is I'm gonna buy one contract here just to see how this thing goes. What is that? That is absolutely total bullshit. Why are you doing that? If you are not rock solid in the way that you are trading, and if you are not rock solid in, yes, this is a good setup today because of your rules, then let's try to see if this works. That is absolutely rubbish. No, there should be like, yes, this is exactly what I'm looking for and I'm putting a full position on. Full position doesn't mean 100% of your account. Full position means a full position with proper risk management. Make sense, guys? So there we go, guys. Less is more. I want to leave with one thing here. If you are serious about trading these markets, then there's ways that these successful traders trade the markets and do well. And if you're getting in based on, well, you think it's a good idea right now, or you hope it's going to continue running on, or you think it's the top right now, see how this think, hope, fear. But with me and my clients, we do so well, or most of them do so well. Some of them don't because they don't listen to me, right? A bit of a clip around the ear. I gave one person a clip around the ear today because he's not putting effort in, right? But it's because we focus on a setup. We don't focus on think or hopes like, okay, here is a really good setup because of the rules. Focus on the rules and you can do so well. Hey traders, John Howell here. Thanks for watching my video. For a limited time only, I am giving away free access to my brand new trading course. I've put all my most powerful systems, strategies, and trading techniques that I've learned over the last 15 years and put it in this course, and I'm giving it away for free for a limited time. See, in this brand new Guide to the Markets by the Boys trading course, and you can get it when you go to johnsfreegift.com, you're going to learn, firstly, you're going to get access to a brand new training course for 90 minutes, and you're going to learn all the details step by step to my #1 trading system with over a 90% success rate that works on any market and any time frame. You're also going to learn 3 powerful chart reading and trading techniques. You're also going to learn 2 more powerful trading systems, and also you're going to learn 7-figure trading secrets, mindset techniques, and so much more. There's top 13 mistakes you're going to learn, the 10K per month formula, and so much more. No, this is not a get rich quick scheme, but if you are struggling with your trading right now and you need help, then for a limited time, you can get free access to this. So go to johnsfreegift.com right now, or click on the very first thing in the description, because for a limited time, I'm giving away. So go to johnsfreegift.com right now and start getting access to this full complete trading course, plus also the free training with my #1 trading system with over 90% success rate. Go to that right now, and I'll see you on the next page.